everybody, this is Dana Pittman with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. I'm coming today with this introduction as I prepare you all for this tutorial. I did not realize until I was going through the footage that the tutorial is extremely long. So I am going to break it up in parts, and in the description I will tell you it's part 1, part 2, part 3, and I do believe I'll do it in 3 parts. The beginning part is going to show you how to get actually, let's show you the piece, huh? We're going to be making a scarf with the Red Heart Boutique ribbons. And this particular color, as you may have seen in the demonstration that I uploaded, this is the City color. Yes, City. And I am showing you how to knit this scarf. I will break it up into 3 parts. The first part will show you how to get started. The middle portion is really going to be just kind of showing you how it progresses and everything. And then the last portion will show you how to close it off. And I do share how I close it off. Again, this is strictly how I do it. I was unable to follow the patterns that I saw before, and so I share with you in the tutorial how I learned how to kind of do it on the fly and by eye, and then worked my way from there. So this is the piece once again. Please feel free to leave me comments, questions, any suggestions that you have for future tutorials. If this is something, that you would like for me to do here on my channel. And I'm doing this one because I was asked so many times and so many questions on Facebook, because we see this beautiful yarn and we know it looks great, but how do we use it? Which is why I uploaded the demonstrations. So I would suggest you take a look at the demonstration about the differences or the comparisons between the Red Heart Boutique's sachet and the Red Heart Boutique's ribbons yarn to decide what type of yarn you would like to use. And if you decide to use the ribbons yarn, take a look at the demonstration on how to prepare that yarn for usage, because it is packaged in a very interesting way. And I say interesting because I've never seen it before, and maybe you all have, but I haven't. And so I share how I prepare the yarn for usage, and then the tutorial will pick up after that preparation. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial, and please leave your feedback, comments, suggestions on how, if there's any others you'd like for me to do, or any suggestions on how I can make it better in the future. I've done maybe one other one. Well, actually, take that back. I've done several others of tutorials, but this is my first one for knitting, and I don't know if I'll do any more for knitting. The next ones that I have in my bank right now are going to be for crochet, for the crochet along coming up in January. So enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to interacting with you all in the comment section, and I hope that we can talk again sooner than later. Take care and enjoy the tutorial. Goodbye.
Okay, so you have this little piece that you've pulled, and go ahead and grab your crochet hook. Honestly, you can use any size crochet hook. I grabbed one of the little ones that I never use. This is a 2.25. It's a B, really little. Okay, and what I do, let's see if I can zoom in some, is I go through as if I am doing a slip stitch. Go through, I grab the yarn, the little string, and I pull it. Oh, again, why I don't use this little one, because I can't ever control them. Let's try that again. Okay, grab it, and what I'm doing is, if I'm putting it underneath those last stitches, and honestly, whatever I can grab that I can see, and I yarn over, and I pull it through. And when I pull it through, I put that hook down, and I'll gently try to pull the rest of the piece through as much as I can, because it's going to be a tight space. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know if I was in frame or not. Okay, I'm going to do it again. And this is, once again, this is purely optional. But to me, it just helps to ensure that the piece stays the way that I made it. Even though me and this hook are not very good friends. Here we go. I'm going to do it here. See how there's that gap in there? I'm going to put it right through there. Actually, I'm going to go and pull it through all of that. Grab this again. Okay. And then I'm going to pull one last little over here. And then I'm going to just grab that piece. Now, what happens now is I'm left with this piece that's been pulled across. I leave this for a second, and I'm going to show you what I do next. Now, for people that don't want to do all of this, I mean, pretty much at the end of that last piece, you can try to cut it and just do a double knot anywhere that you can to secure it, and you will be done. But this is the final step that I do to secure my piece. First of all, I just leave this piece up high and I sit it down to the side, making sure that I don't lose that piece. And I grab some of the the string that we cut off earlier, and I grab my tapestry needle and I thread it, leaving a fairly lengthy tail. See how long that tail is? Okay. I pull up through this piece, kind of gather it as much as you can, and what I do is find a spot to go back down into those final stitches. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Alright, go into those final stitches and I pull it through. Then what I do is I keep pulling until I have about 2 or 3 inches of a tail left. See that? And I stop. I grab this yarn and I take it and I do a good knot. See that? I actually usually tie it at least 3 times. And this is with the tail. And I'm trying to keep it in frame while doing this. And since I left enough of a tail, I'm going to do it one more time. And this is because once I get ready to cut this, I can cut this knowing this baby is not going anywhere. Okay? Alright, good. Now, I let that go. It's nice and secure. I grab my needle, going back through those stitches as much as I can. And what I'm doing, oh, excuse me, I'm out of frame again, is I go underneath those last stitches one more time. And what I do here is somewhat like just going underneath them, pull through, and pull until you have this little bitty, until your loop comes close. You see that? Then what I do is I pull my needle through the loop and pull it all tight down to the piece, and it's secure. And basically what I'm going to do is do this all the way across. See how I go up underneath those stitches there? Okay, I do this till it comes to a little loop here. I'm going to pull back a little bit so you've already seen kind of what I'm doing. And I can go across. Now what I do is I keep doing this across. That's my end for my knot. And I want to leave that on the side intentionally. I'm going to keep going. This does not have to be perfect. The wonderful thing is that with this ruffles, you really can't see all of this. But then I have the mental assurance that this is nice and secure. And basically what you're doing is doing little knots all the way across it. And I'll put one last one in this corner. I'll pull it up, turn it, and I do the same thing going back. And this is going to be the final pass through. Again, I probably lost a few people already, but it's okay. This is what I do. This is what I do. And I'm doing the same thing going back, and my intent is to find my way back to my long tail where I did that initial knot. And you don't have to do a bunch of these stitches. I usually do maybe 3. And this is just, again, that string that we cut. And you want to try your best not to catch your ruffles, which I just did talking because I couldn't see, but it's okay. Here we go. Because what starts happening is as you go across, oh, I kicked the camera, sorry. As you again, sorry, as you begin it begins to gather and almost like have a little rounded effect on the end. Okay, now once I get to the end here, this is going to be my last one. Oh, and another thing, you don't want to pull it through too soon because it'll cause it to catch. Okay, now here's my end from before. Here's my thread and I'm going to give myself a little slack here and cut. And now I have 2 ends that are near each other, and I go ahead and do a box knot once again, and I give it a nice little tug. You don't want the string screaming, but you want to, I normally tie 4 times. It's just a standard cross knot. And if you wanted to, you could keep going. And that if you have string left the way that I do, just making sure it's secure. And once you get that last one in there, grab your scissors. And don't cut that. I'm sorry, you're going to grab your scissors, snip it. Look at that. And once you arrange your ruffles, it's all gone. Now, you think you're done, but you're not. But let me show you real quick what we've done. See there? It's nice, kind of rounded. And I'll show you how we'll kind of put the finishing touches on this in a second. This is a long tutorial, I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to go to the other end and we are going to do the exact same thing. And I started doing it on the other end because that end will have a rounded effect. This end will have a squared effect. And I found that those first stitches are not really strong because they're trying to attach onto each other. So I'm going to do the same thing on this end. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab that thread. Now, if your piece of string doesn't leave you with enough to do it again, you can trash this and get another piece from the string that we had left earlier. But I think this string will be enough to do what I need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my piece, start on one end, and I'm going to go in and gather those stitches. I'm going to zoom in a little bit when I get started, and then I'll pull out. So I'm going to just grab in here. And in my mind, I'm just kind of gathering these stitches, trying to pull them across. All right, pull it up. Leave yourself a nice generous tail. And on this one, because it's not secure already, I'm going to pull through on this other end and do one more sweep pass through. I don't know what this is called, forgive me, before I go back. Oh, actually, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I want to go ahead and tie this in a knot. Forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and start this again. You can see that this is all like not this rocket science, and I have it all together. I am so much a seat of my pants kind of crafter. And I'm glad because it makes it so that every piece is unique. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my box knot here. And yes, I did have to remove my needle because I started pulling it through, and rather than wrestle with trying to pull it back out, I just removed the needle, and I will or the tapestry needle, and I will add it back as soon as I finish this box knot. Make sure it's nice and secure. And now I'll rethread it. Okay, here I go again. See how wide that is? And now we're going to just really kind of clean it up and bring it in. Move that tail out of the way. Here we go. Just going to go underneath. And you can even just kind of go through and weave your way in. If you know how to sew, I mean, it's similar to what you would do if you were sewing. Except you're knitting. And I'm pulling my ruffles out of the way so I won't catch them, hopefully. If I do a little bit, I don't mind that. As long as I know that I have all these other pieces pretty secure. That's my main focus. And I'm going to, after this one, pull it back out so that you can see what I'm doing here. And we'll pull it out again. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the end of me finishing this side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. And here we go. I'm at the end. And I'm going to tie my box knot again. Nice and secure. Give it a little tug on that first one. And when I say a little tug, I mean it. The good thing about it is they, for this string, it's actually about 3 or 4 pieces of string together. So you really are getting nice sturdy. Okay, secure ending. So let's go ahead and snip this close. Don't cut your ribbons. And it is done. Okay. Okay, now we have it. It's done. I'm going to move this out of our way. And the last finishing touch that I do is it's all done. I lay it out and I kind of just shape it a tad bit. I shape it because this will help. I don't know. I can't say I don't know. But what I do to shape it is I just give it a little pull. And this will help it so that as you go across, it'll in my eyes view at least, unify the size and the width. As you pull it, you will feel those stitches kind of pulling in place. You don't want to do it too much because remember, there's gaps, especially with the knitted ones. I feel it's a little more gappy than the crochet one, but it's okay. And here, we're back at this other end. Give it a nice little pull on the sides. And that is it. This is it. I'm going to lay it out a little bit. And there you have it. There you have it. And I will probably take a couple of pictures. See how the ends are kind of rounded here. And you don't see kind of all that extra work we did on the end. It's nice and hidden. See that? I'm going to pull it in. Not bad. See that? Nicely done. If I say so myself. Alright, so this was extremely long, but I hope that this is helpful. I will take a few pictures just on the table just so you can see the finished product. And this is it for this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I look forward to interacting with you all in the comment section. Take care, and hopefully, I'll be able to bring you more tutorials and that we will talk sooner than later. So take care and have fun with this, okay?